Hello everyone, my name is Kist and welcome back to something a little different. Most recently in Trackling 101 we just finished the Sawmill setup, and today I decided to ask some of my community members on Discord if they want to show me their Sawmill setup, and we're doing just that. I'm joined by Kanini,
Hello.
and he's going to show us around a little bit and explain what's going on in his world. Let's get started. Okay, let's get started. So what's going on, Kanini?
So we are currently at the freight depot main line, as I like to call it, starting to go to the sawmill.
Okay.
And the goal of this line is basically to maintain efficiency and it having multiple trains running at once when we are playing with multiple people. So basically we're just trying to stay as efficient as possible. So you can see how many lines we have just spreading out everywhere, which may seem confusing to everybody when they first join, but after you get used to it, it's 10 times more efficient than I think it's usually ever been.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So, yeah, thank you. So basically, the main parts are going to be the second main line, which would be the sawmill, or my bad, the logging camp to smelter line, which is
Uh,
divided by.
Yeah, so are both of them like most of your track double mainline?
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, thank you.
Must be a lot of
Yeah.
work though.
Personally, no. I think that your video helped me out a lot,
Aw,
personally.
thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Your videos are great.
All right, so
But
let's keep going. What's next?
Alright, so next we're gonna head over to this loading area, which is just a little switch off to this little part, which I have some bridges to line me up in railroads line extended, so you can
Right.
activate the auto loading cranes that they just added, which perfect feature in my opinion.
I
Um,
haven't used them yet, so I'm
oh
kind of
yeah,
excited
it's
to do
really
that.
uh, really nice so far. I haven't loaded this with any logs yet, but oh shoot, we don't mind that. I forgot to do this track.
Is it supposed to go on towards the smelter, or is
It
it
was it
just?
was supposed to go on, but I think I'm just gonna make it switch over to the single.
All right.
Um, yeah, and then we have this little jank 45-degree crossover that I didn't want a very sharp corner, which kind of backfired a little bit when I was running a class 70 through here. So
I.
I just decided, oh screw it, I'm just gonna have a 45-degree crossover, and it could
Uh,
go onto the main line or something.
I mean, I think that proves for some interesting track or just train running. Maybe you have to
Yeah.
limit the engine size for this industry.
Yeah, that would also make for some really interesting train running, which personally, I like having that. First, when I made a switchback with you, a while back on a different save,
Right.
uh, that was basically just for having some fun and having something different compared to what everybody else usually has, right? So, most of this like track is probably gonna be a single main line at some point
Right.
due to just having like not issues but just having like good issues that you kind of want to sort out. It gives you a little bit of a puzzle when you're building track.
I get you. Now, I must
Like if you
say, I'm
you
looking
go
at
for it.
these. There's four crossovers, and there's a line that goes off to the middle of nowhere. What's up with that?
Okay, so basically this is just a big turnaround track so you can get out of
Oh,
here.
oh, chill. Come in. All right.
All right,
So
you
it's
coming?
just a giant loop.
This is a giant loop. This is the track that we saw when we were first starting off right here. This came off
Ah, that makes sense.
here.
So what's the point of it?
So basically, it's just a big turnaround because when you're coming from this line, there is no switch to go off to here or to go off this way. Basically, that solves so you can just go out and straight back to the logging camp where the locomotive would need to go because it is dropping off log cars. Anyhow,
Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah, of course. It kind of has to make sense, otherwise you're not going to be able to run trains that great.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
just kind of out of curiosity here,
yeah. Go for it.
there's a lot of track, which I get because you want to run multiple trains, make sure it's all
Oh,
highly efficient.
yep, 100%.
Um, what's the hardest part about building it how it is now?
The hardest part. I believe was definitely the planning. There was a lot of planning that went into it, even though I made it just this morning. There's
Nice.
a lot of Paint 3D involved, in my opinion, which I believe you use sometimes in some of your videos to demonstrate.
Yep, it
And
helps.
oh, 100%. Yeah, there's a lot of planning involved. It's still not 100% what I want it to be, which there will be some parts that I have to redo, but currently this is how I like it so far. So, yeah.
Alright, that's very awesome.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Are you have you guys, or I don't know if you and your buddies or whoever joins you, have you guys run
Yeah.
trains yet?
We have yet to run trains. We had I had B join me to he set up a passenger train which he ran around a little bit, and the track proved effective so far. So yeah, which is really nice for what the game is trying to do,
Right.
I guess.
Now, I must say, I don't know if you've noticed these crossovers.
Yeah. We don't talk about it.
I
We don't talk about it.
gotta watch out for
What?
that.
Hold up. I connected those, but you know what? Okay. Okay.
Are we gonna?
Okay.
Do we get to see some live maintenance away?
My MOW time.
All right. Well, you do that. I'm gonna go look over here. See
Go
how it
for it.
looks. So you haven't built over to the smelter yet.
Not currently. That's just a little stub. Little stub.
Eventually, we're gonna have to get there in Trackling 101. So.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I'm building there not too long from now, so it'll be nice. We could do one of these for that too. Be cool.
More to
Yeah.
come later. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, more to come. I mean, you better
um.
off.
So I guess future plans. Is there anything in the future that's gonna change here?
For the future, I like having a lot of decoration. I have a little street running area, which you could probably show off later, different episode or something. But it's basically a little town that has like a little street running area into my yard, which is based off a DNRG yard.
That's pretty cool.
And yeah, I fully agree with that. And basically, I'm just planning to make like a little sawmill town just right in the middle of all this track, hopefully, to fill up the area since I chopped down all the trees.
That makes sense. You gonna put a yard anywhere?
Uh, I don't have any yard plans currently here, but there will be one at the smelter.
Yeah, that sounds all really cool. I'm excited to
Oh
see what
yeah,
happens.
oh yeah.
All right. Yeah, well, I think that'll do it for now. I think I
Mhm.
got a nice little overview of your sawmill setup. So I thank
Yeah,
you for giving me the time to go into it, and it's been fun.
yeah, no problem.
All right,
Thank you for
Canadian.
coming.
Yeah,
All right,
I'll see you around.
all right. See you, Kiss. Bye.
All right. So next to join us is Biggie Shun, and
Hello.
we're. Oh, my bad. Say hello.
Hello.
And we're on his world, and already there's something a little different happening.
Yeah, so what this is a swapped industries map of my own, I guess, design, but all I really did was steal from Humanity Kills' hardcore map and a few others maps. Main thing being logging camp is somewhere over there in the Smelter Valley, and Sawmill is over here by the river. Which makes things interesting because you have to climb a huge hill to start earning money, and I've tried on realistic, and Porter can only haul 1, 2 loaded log cars up from the Smelter
Oh
Valley
my
at a
god.
time, so it took a while to get to this point.
I bet.
So
And we have the myth,
yeah,
I'm gonna say the man, the myth, but the train, the myth, the legend.
Betsy.
Yeah. All right. Well, maybe you can walk us through like what's happening track wise. Um,
Okay, so this smelter yard is very much an intersection point of 3 different lines. If this is the passing loop, this is like the turnaround loop right here, but there's another one at the sawmill. If we move over here, this is the main yard,
Mhm.
like the main storage yard. All the cars get sent here to be, sorted, put to get trains put together. So right now I have, like right before this recording, I was setting up to run another log and cordwood logging
Right.
cordwood train down to the logging camp valley, which is, by the way, down this track right here.
Oh, that's very
It's
cool.
a 2% grade all the way down to the smelter valley.
Damn.
And then this over here is the yard lead. It's not connected to anything because it's meant for more for pulling things out,
Right.
shoving things in from this end.
That's pretty
So
cool.
if we move over back to the other side of the yard, um, past the switches, I've got a little fueling water turntable facility over here. Pretty simple, just a turntable to turn trains around, locomotives around, firewood depot to fuel it,
Mm-hmm.
a few water towers to get things filled up in a reasonable amount of time.
Right. You literally got
Uh,
everything here.
yeah, and then also a track over here so that
Yeah, you
the
can load
firewood
the.
depots don't take a while to unload in this game, but I still have built it as if I need to do it
Yeah, you never know.
often. Yeah, I remember when the firewood depots spawned in with 0 firewood, so you have to really make sure you had to you had the fuel ready
Right.
to ready to load in.
All
So over
right.
here, this bit of track is there's 2 main tracks. This track right here, this leads to the west part of the map as well as Iron Mine. If you keep going down this way, you will eventually hit a switch. If you go left, you will head towards Iron Mine.
So does this also go to the coal mine from this right line?
Coal Mine, no. I believe Coal Mine Coal Mine I left in the same place, I think. Actually, let me double check. Yes, I left it in the same place. So
All right.
when I eventually get to Coal Mine, this track will also be going towards Coal Mine. So this will be a junction for 3 different industries
That's
eventually.
that's quite a lot.
So if we walk down here, this is the main area for the sawmill. So this track here, this track is a very simple track. It's just a passing loop,
That's pretty cool.
for log cars only.
Yeah.
So you unload here, and then you just bring your train, move it in slowly this way, and then just start unloading as they pass by.
Right.
Then you can run around your train over here at this switch.
Okay.
Run your train around, and then so that you can move back into the yard.
What's a standard operation size? Like how long of a
Standard
train?
operation size, I use 10 log cars,
All right.
which 2 shays can do on a 2% grade fairly easily. It's slow because it's a shay, but it works, and you get 60 logs at a time, so that's nice.
Right, and I'm guessing this is to pick up
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. These crossover the line for the the loop for the lumber and beams crosses over the log tracks here,
Right.
and they are loaded over here. So
Right.
what I often do is I often just place down tracks like this to line up the wheels so that they're centered on the
Okay.
frames. Since I'm playing mainly in single player, I have to make sure that I can do it. I can visually see it from relatively far away because I'll be on one end in the locomotive, moving the whole cut.
Yeah. Yeah, I gotcha.
So beams and lumber are loaded here at the same time. My trains tend to be 4 and 4 repeated.
Right.
Like four beam cars, 4 lumber cars, going up to iron mine at least. So then once you get it loaded, you keep going around the loop, and then it joins back up here, and then you keep going.
And we're back to
and
where we started.
Back to where we started, into the yard.
That's pretty cool. So, I know some people, even me, in Trackling 101, I have just a looped system. But it seems like you opted for a little bit of switching in this.
Yeah, my first sawmill build using the old splines, it was horrible.
Me too.
I had like an entire, like where the sawmill is supposed to be, I had like an entire loop for the cars. It was really tight. It was not good, but it worked, and I could store like a good 20 something cars in that single loop.
Right.
But now with the new splines, it's easier to have, like, just have a 30-ish degree curve between the lake and the loading platforms, and then just have a single loop, and then head west into the valley to the west to have your storage yard, which is what I've done multiple times.
Right.
But on this map, at least, this is how I've done it.
So, got one question is,
Yeah.
what has been the hardest thing about specifically the sawmill here? What was the challenge?
Sawmill? Okay, so I've played Humanity Kills hardcore map, which has a sawmill in the same place.
Mm-hmm.
This was during the old splines. So you see this hill over here?
1 second.
Where'd you go?
Yes, I'm right here.
So you got the river here, right? So that's not too bad. You can just build a bridge over it. But problem is, there's this. It's not entirely flat around here.
Right.
You can see here that there's a hill.
Yep.
There's a small hill that you have to avoid in order to be able to. If you come over here, you can really see it.
Yep. And
there's a hill on that, and on the left side there's a hill on the right side, and you have to build to avoid it.
You can also
and then
see
because
the
of how the
ties
loading
right
platform is set up, it essentially goes straight into this hill.
Yeah.
So you have to build a really tight turn to the left. You can't do it from the right because you will hit the hill again if you go to the right. So you have to build a very sharp left turn, cross the river, and then head back towards the yard in order to be able to do a like roll in, roll out style of loading.
The only other option is to like make a grade, a little tiny bump.
The only other option is to start from here and then make a small grade going up here.
Or you can just wing it from the end and just go like 10% up right now.
Yeah.
This is pretty cool. All right. I guess another question is just has it been fun?
Yes. Very fun. I have 300 hours in this game. This game is very good. Though there are flaws, but otherwise the game is very playable, very good.
Well, I personally have not played on any moved industries map. Would you recommend it for other people?
If you, okay, so let me admit, personally, I have not gotten farther than the Ironworks ever, but but the default map does give like some operational challenges. However, it's like everyone builds more or less the same things on the vanilla map, right?
Right.
It's like everyone goes through that little pass by where that little pass going east to west, right? You know that one?
Yeah.
Everyone goes either up the left side or the right side to iron mine. Everyone goes. Coal mine is different because there's multiple ways you could do it, but
Of course.
lots of people I've seen go up iron mine to on the wet east side with
Yeah.
the pre-made, somewhat pre-made grade there. I eventually got bored of that because I constantly restart the map before I get to Ironworks often, and moved industries really makes things different. Like for example, this map, you have to first off build from the freight depot to the logging camp, right? That's what you usually do first. But the
Right.
thing is, the logging camp is in the smelter valley. So if we, so like you have to deal with the fact that you have to build a long hill first off, and before you can start making money.
Right.
Like vanilla, it's still a hill, but it's smaller, right? And then the sawmill is like pretty much right next door to the sawmill, to the logging camp in vanilla. Um, in On this map, however, even though they're relatively close, it's like a long 2% grade climbing up from the valley to here.
Right.
Which makes it quite a bit more difficult with early game locos. Though once you get like two or three shays, then it gets much easier to do.
Right. I just finished working on my logging camp setup in Trackling 101. So maybe after that airs, we'll have to come check yours again. See what you did.
Yeah. Yeah, so if there is a logging camp episode, you're free to take a look.
All right,
Uh,
man. Well, I think we'll call it there. I thank you for giving me the time to come check this out. It's been really cool.
thank you for like letting me be in your episode.
Yeah, no problem, man. All right. I'll see you later.
All right.
So our next member to join us is Looney,
Hello.
and without any kind of just anything else, let's just jump right into it. So, take it away, Looney. What's up?
My track building skills are not up to par with Kist's, but basically what I have here is the line from the freight depot.
Right.
It comes into here, and it comes into this area. I have a water tank over there.
So is this kind of like just a siding that you can get some kind of refill, some kind of drink?
Yeah, I built this line in mind for like multiplayer.
Yeah.
So if there's like a log train going up from the freight depot and you need to get past here, but there's a
Yeah.
cordwood train coming down from the freight depot, you can pull into here and let the other train pass.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. It sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, and this siding is really, really long. It can hold like a lot of cars.
Right. So I'm guessing, is this right line to the sawmill? Is that where we're heading?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
So it branches off from there and comes into here, this ugly part right here.
Yeah, I
It's
like
kind
it.
of a sharp curve. It was, I designed it way back when I was using Class 48s and Betsy's and
Right.
Montezuma's and stuff.
I mean, look, man, I love this bridge. So, in my opinion, it looks freaking great.
Thanks. Over here, you can either go straight into the log pond, or if you want to branch off to the right to go to the smelter or the mines.
Right.
And then over here, you can branch off left to
Like pick up
loading
stuff.
area.
Yeah.
Yeah. I made this thing to make it easier for me so that I don't have to like back up my train a bunch of times because I run super long trains sometimes.
Mhm.
So what I do is I pick up cars from the yard in the freight depot, and then I come around here. Originally, this part didn't have a switch right here. It would just go right.
Yeah.
So I had to like reverse on the Y and stuff, and that was a pain.
Right. I can
But
understand that.
then I made this. It's really bad because it's like right next to the mountain, but
Oh, I had the exact same thing. What you mean? If it works, it works. I'm not complaining.
Yeah. most of the locomotives can get past that,
Right.
except for like the chunky ones. So I like developed this system where if we go over here and you're like taking your lumber train, your empty lumber train down from like the coal mine or something.
Mhm.
Instead of going straight and having to reverse a bunch, you can just go left right here over these two bridges, and then it'll take you right back to the Y, and
Yeah.
then you can just keep going.
Right. So it's like you have like a loops on loops kind of thing.
Yeah.
So have you had any problems so far, or has it been working pretty well?
It's been working pretty well. I don't log on to Railroads Online that much because I have like practice and stuff.
A life.
Whatnot. Yeah, I have a life. But yeah, when I do log on to Railroads Online, I've been running this 7-car lumber train with a cook consolidation. And the cook consolidation is really not my favorite because it goes super fast, but I've managed to regulate the speed of it by using the reverser.
That's why you gotta have the class 70, man. You can just full reg it and it won't go over 16. Oh, this is pretty cool. I think it's one of on the simpler side of stuff. Even mine, I think, is a little bit more complicated than this.
Yeah, I don't have the skills necessary to build something like yours. So I've just like created this strange layout.
Right. Well, so another question I have for you is, what has been the challenge with the sawmill? Also, building track around it.
The sawmill is painful sometimes because, the turnaround over here, you have to have like a super sharp curve.
Talking about the
Right.
cranes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my challenge has been like, I can't run log trains with like class 70s or 280s of any kind because I have this abomination right here. It goes straight to the right. I don't
Right.
know what degree curve that is, but it's big.
We don't know. We don't question. Well, I mean, granted, all of this and stuff. Have you had fun with it?
Oh, definitely. Unfortunately, I haven't done very much multiplayer lately, but
Right.
it's fun to like run trains around my goofy layout.
It's pretty fun.
Makes it easier for me too.
Reminds me of oh god, layouts like I used to start with. I should show you a picture after this of my my first Sawmill layout. I still have a picture. Oh God, if you may not be happy with yours right now. After you see mine, you'll be like, okay. Well, I mean, this is pretty fun. Actually, kind of like a lot of people, they've cut down a lot of their trees by the Sawmill. Kind of seems like you only needed to cut down what was necessary. So I kind of like the aesthetic.
Yeah. I like having the the actual railroading aesthetic, like not
Right.
like bare land,
Yeah.
because it's the mountains, so there's gonna be trees somewhere.
Right.
And I also don't like having perfectly straight track either.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
You should see my line to the what is it? The ironworks.
Oh.
Oh dear.
Well,
It's scary.
maybe one day, as in like as I keep building in Trackling 101, when we get to the Ironworks, or at least just that part of the map, maybe I'll have to come back and compare.
Yeah.
See, I love circle mode. I kind of use it religiously, from what you're telling me. You may not.
Well, I mean, I use circle mode for certain track pieces, like the turnaround by the cranes over here.
Yeah.
That's 35 degrees on circle mode. But the rest of it, I just connect
Right.
using the connect tool.
All right, man. Well, I think I'm satisfied. This is pretty cool. I just gotta keep saying it. All right. Yeah, I appreciate you for giving me your time to come on and join, and thank you for showing me around.
Yeah, thank you for having me on.
All right. Peace out, man.
Bye.
And our last member to join us is To Rocky.
Hey, how's it going?
Going pretty good. All right, let's just jump straight into it. What's happening, Tori?
Okay, so right here we are sitting on the westbound side of the entrance into my sawmill from the main line.
Hmm?
What you see here on the left here is actually a Y coming off the loading platform from the sawmill so that
Okay.
you could head back out towards the west. And if we come up here, you'll see that it actually accomplishes 2 tracks to go west. One is actually a drop-off line for the firewood depot and firewood depot there. The other's the actual pickup line.
Right.
But the pickup line also spins out to go back to the main line to the east as well. So you can come out east or west out of the main line.
That's pretty cool.
And my main line is double tracked here,
Yeah.
but as you can see, I have a third track here, which is actually a loop. This is a drop-off loop for the logs that the pickup line actually merges into.
Right.
So basically, my entire sawmill setup is off the main lines.
if you don't mind, real quickly. So the main line is just by itself, and this is supposed to be like completely separate. So the industry is just by itself.
Yeah, the industry is by itself. It's completely separate. There's 3 points it connects at. Here, back there where we first started,
Right.
and then further up this way, this is so you can get into the sawmill from the smelter area.
Right.
Those are the only 3 places it connects to the main line. And once you're in the sawmill area, you can do whatever you need to do in the sawmill area without ever crossing onto the main line.
Right. So I see you got a train here already.
Yeah, in case you wanted to see see a train running through here.
Right.
But this is the branch off that you're on to go around to the pickup line, and this over here is the
I think I lost you.
drop off for the logs.
Yep.
And the drop off for the logs kind of makes a little trapezoidal type shape.
Right.
I didn't have enough room to use the full drop off platform, so I only ended up using half of it.
Well,
But
well,
that's more than fine.
I can see it definitely works. So.
Yep, it definitely works. As you see, it's full. Basically, the logging camp actually comes in from the west as well. So it'll come in on this north side main line here that I'm standing on. It'll come up through here into this switch
And then straight onto the loop.
and straight onto the loop. And when it's dropping off, it has to go around the loop again, back out through the back of the sawmill,
So-
and then out to the west and up to the logging camp again.
Right. Oh, I see what you mean. It has to go. It has to take the loop once and then flip a switch to head back to the logging camp.
Yep.
Ah, that's pretty
But it
cool.
could do the whole thing without ever being on the main line. That was the important part for me. Keeping
Right.
the main line clear, keeping it capable of running.
I think
know?
just the amount of switches. I'm standing here looking at it all. It's just like switch, 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 switch. It's kind of fun. Well, I'm sure it provides some fun operating sessions or just train running.
Yeah. Also, once you come out of the loop, if you're coming out of the loop to go eastbound, I've actually set it up so that you can come out and go onto either the northbound main line or the south main line.
Right.
You can go basically anywhere you want and come into the loop from any track you're on.
Right.
That was also kind of important for me.
It makes sense. This is all really cool. Compared to the other ones I've seen so far, even my own, it's very different. It works just the same though. It literally has the same functionality. It's really cool to see other designs about it.
Yeah. This is the way I came up with it. Not everybody's going to make the things different, and that's the cool thing about this game. There's just so many different ways to do one particular thing. It's ridiculous.
I agree.
And everybody's going to have a completely different idea of what to do. It was important for me to have the main lines where they were at, because I don't really care about getting to industries as fast as possible. I like the scenic route. I love the views. It's freaking model railroads in virtual. So,
Yeah.
give me the views. I don't mind. I don't mind taking a little extra time. I love watching the trains run. So that's why my main line comes in around that hill to the west of the sawmill where we started.
Yeah, no, I get you, man. I actually really like this a lot. I think it's very unique. All right. One thing I also I need to ask you is what was the hardest thing about the sawmill to build?
The hardest thing about the small sawmill was actually fitting the main lines in and that loop around the drop-off loop for the logs. Once I had the drop-off loop, the main lines where they needed to be, getting the angle right here for the drop-off line was
And
the most challenging.
Yeah. Does it can all the engines handle it? Even the big ones?
Even the big ones. The tightest radius in this thing is 40 meters.
All
the
right.
tightest radius, and the loop is actually at, even though it looks really tight, the loop is actually at 50 meters.
It's a little deceiving.
So, yeah, it looks tight on extended, but it's actually not.
Well, all right, man. I think I think I'm satisfied. This is all really cool.
I'm glad you like it.
Yeah, I think even I had to take some inspiration from you one day. Maybe I'll have to redo my sawmill eventually.
Well, that's fine. I got plenty of inspiration to go around. I mean, you kind of see it off in the background back there.
Maybe one day we'll come back and look at that. But for now, this is fun. Thank you for giving me the time to come out and check this out. This is fun.
Yeah, no problem, man.
All right,
No
I'll see
problem at all.
I'll see you around. Alrighty, everyone, if you made it this far, thank you for watching. If you want to experience these maps, go ahead and join my Discord server. There will be a link in the description. Alright, my name's Kiss, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.